At the stage we're at with our Kickstarter campaign, I feel a little anxious.
Many of the people with who we're connected really aren't even familiar with Kickstarter. So I think if they had had more familiarity with it, there wouldn't have been such a gap between where we may have thought we would have been at this point and where we actually are.
It's a little intimidating putting ourselves out there with our friends and family watching on.
It is kind of nerve-wracking to be putting all of this initial time and effort and money up front, and still the potential of us not succeeding in our goal.
We've been brewing a lot, and in addition to doing what we all normally have responsibility to do, I think that there's a kind of a fatigue that is building.
And a lot of other hurdles as well that we've been just learning as we go and had no way to prepare for it. Today is November 4th, and we are 17 days away from the end of the Kickstarter. We have about 53 backers, totaling approximately $9,400.
We're starting to gain some momentum, which I like, but it seems as though it's coming a little longer into the campaign than what I anticipated. Being a man of faith in God, I understand that all things are in His hand, and so try not worry about it, but just trust Him, and it's going along as it's supposed to go along.
We have a lot of tastings coming up in addition to the ones we've already done, so now we just need more people to taste our beer.
Well, we're at Carson Street Deli and Craft Beer Bar on Carson Street in the south side of Pittsburgh. A lot of eateries in the area. They have a beer meetup here tonight, and we're actually doing a public debut of a couple of our regulars, the Promised Land Ale and the Carry Me Home IPA. So we're anxious to see what the response is from the public.
Pittsburgh Beer Meetup is a group that started about 3 years ago, and so what we do is get together 2 or 3 times a month at different craft beer bars, and we just kind of get together and have like social events.
Part of the reason we picked the area we did is because, first of all, the environment of Pittsburgh and the surrounding area is great. People are loyal. People tend to cling on to something, and then they don't want to let it go.
Pittsburgh is such a supportive community for craft beer, and there's room for everyone. I really appreciate that idea of the Reclamation Brewing Company, you know, reclaiming that idea that the craft beer industry is about community and fellowship and just enjoying the beer and enjoying the product in each other's company, and not just about, you know, slamming beer after beer.
Tonight went really well, I think. We were able to get to talk to quite a few people, and I just think a lot of people really liked and appreciated what we had to say, and enjoyed our beers as well. So excited for the future. People know what we're about, they know who we are, and they've seen us, they've got to spend some time with us, have a few drinks, and hopefully they'll be supportive on Kickstarter. People's reactions in general have been great. We just got back from a tasting this week that we were paired up against a major distributor, a major brewery, and our lowest scoring beer scored higher than their highest scoring beer. So that's encouraging. We also broke some marks that aren't often broken with that group of people. Promised Land Ale, member thoughts, delicious. Winnie the Pooh would drink this beer. Awesome beer, I love it. Creamy milk and honey, perfect, yum. Very good honey beer, a hit with the ladies and the men.
We've had very positive responses, and I'm really thankful for that. It makes me know that we're doing something right.
It's a little bit surprising how much people like our beer, but we also know we have a great product. It's just cool to see people try it and actually physically see them enjoy it, rather than just hearing from someone that we know already that it's good.
The way we have built these beers is to taste, and I'm glad that people really like it. They are noticing that it's a nice, bold flavor, and that there's time and effort and craftsmanship that's been going into our beer.
We've also been reaching out to some extent. Of course, Twitter and Facebook are huge marketing tools, as well as many others. We've been talking in discussions with some local newspapers and television stations that we're hoping are going to follow through and actually run some sort of a story about our project.
I think it's more important in an overall sense that you're saying we're not ashamed of our product, we're putting it out there, people like it, they're responding, here are the results. So I think that will continue to be an asset in generating interest in the beer.
It's a little disappointing seeing where we're at with all the good feedback we've had and all the people who really enjoy our beer and enjoy our mission.
We're at about $15,000, 90 some backers and 15,000. So we've got about 20,000 to go.
It doesn't really seem like there is a lot that we could have done differently. I mean, we've been taking as much time as possible researching everything out to the nth degree to see, okay, are we maybe missing people? Are we scaring people away? What's going on?
If the Kickstarter isn't successful as far as a monetary standpoint, I think it's still successful in the fact that it has helped us to gain a lot of attention from people who didn't know about us before.
I think it's gone a long ways just in terms of marketing and brand recognition and building a following. I think it's been beneficial in that respect.
The amount of support that we've seen from our tastings and the reaction that we've gotten from people has been very positive, so we're looking forward to being able to serve.
At this point, after all the nights spent awake working on the project and responding to emails and the days brewing and tastings and the beer festivals, comes down to these last 3 days.